I feel more muffled today. I don't know why.
Well, maybe there's a KNA, but you don't sound like it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I have my best mask. So yeah. All righty. And I wanted to say, so this year, this week is the beginning, it's the first session with you of the year. And so there are sun salutations, there's poses I think of as kind of great for a new year, to bring in a new year. And I also have for the dedication today, we're dedicating this class to choosing now, choosing now. And it's specifically from Buddha's teachings. And I just wrote ideas down about it. And this is what I will share with you, okay? I choose now. I will not give the power of this moment away to the past or the future. I choose now. I do not need less time, more time, or another time. I choose now. I do not need to be more or less. I choose the person I am. I choose now. So that's where we're at today. I choose now. Okay, so we're going to begin. And I'm going to keep this. I'm going to try to keep it, because I do have a lighter mask, but we'll just see. Let's begin. How are you? How's it? Yeah, okay. Happy New Year. So let's begin. We're moving, and if the in-studio people want the fans on, I'm okay with that. It's cold out, but like
It's a little chilly.
It's a little chilly. Not yet. Okay. Well, maybe after some sun citations, in studio will want the fans on. I don't know. Usually we do the fans for air circulation. So. Okay, and reverse your circles. Good. Really start to move into your shoulders. Good, and then reach the arms up into the air, interlace fingers, press palms up, and look up. Great, and then releasing the arms down. And let's do a simple twist, choosing your side, left or right, and you'll turn. And then let's turn the other way. Hi, Mark. I just saw Mark come on, and Brent. Nice. Dave. Rachel. So as you're here, you're turning, looking back, and breathing. And then release. And then we're going to stretch out the legs, and we're coming onto our backs. So as we come onto our backs, we're going to stretch out like the legs are up in the air, your hands could be under your head, and you do this strange little shake out, just like shake out your legs and look at your feet. They should look all floppy. It's kind of weird. And then bring your arms up and shake out your hands. Good. Shake it out. All right. And then you'll cross your right ankle over the left and grab hold of your feet and draw the crossing close in. So you're stretching. If your right leg is on top, it's probably stretching your right outer hip. And you can rock side to side. And then you bring your legs up in the air, and then you recross, and you take hold of your hands, hold your feet, and you draw the ankle crossing close in, and you shift side to side. So see if you can take your legs up just a little higher, stretching your outer hip. Good, and then from here, legs are up in the air, and you go knee over knee, because we're actually preparing for steer. So you go knee over knee, You're grabbing hold of your feet, and if you can, your knees are crossed. Good. And that's a deeper hip stretch. So you know, do what is possible. And your feet are like at a 9 and 3 o'clock position on the steering wheel. Good, good. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Your neck should rest on the mat. Okay, the other way. Chuck, and then you have knee over knee, and you're grabbing hold of your feet, stretching the outer hip, maybe shifting slightly from side to side. And breathe. Good, and then release. So now there's the arm part of it, okay? So you're going to roll onto your left side and take your right arm behind you. So your right hand is like tapping your shoulder, and then you come onto your back and you trap your hand underneath you. Good. So it's for some, it's not much of a stretch, and others, it's a really nice tricep stretch, maybe even lats. Okay, so your left hand takes hold of your right elbow and you bring your elbow more to center line. And then just take a breath in and direct your breathing into the side ribs, into the right side ribs, especially like in the upper shoulder area. And this could possibly help you when we come to sitting and do steer, when you have to connect your arms, or maybe you'll be using a strap later. Roll, free your arm, and then go the other way. So you're turning now to you turn to the right, your left hand is underneath you, and then you come onto your back, and you take hold of your right hand, will take hold of your left wrist, your left elbow, and you're trying to take your left elbow to the center line and breathe. So again, an invitation to breathe into the left side of your lungs, left side of your rib cage. Pretty simple. And then roll to one side and free your hands. Good work. So we'll do some core work as well. So we're going to start with the legs are straight in the air and your arms are up in the air as well, okay? So if you wanted to make this easier, what you would do is you take your right hand and your left leg and everything is descending. But if you need to make this easier, you won't go all the way down. But if you can, you'll hover, your right arm hovers above the floor and your left heel hovering above the floor. And then you come back to center. Try to keep your lumbar down. Start from the beginning, lumbar is down, and then do the other. Left arm, right leg. And yeah, good. And it's a little hold, and then back. So keep your arms up in the air, okay? And then again, you're gonna do, if your right arm and your left leg are coming down, your left arm and your right leg haven't moved. Good. Come back to center. It's a hold, right? And then left arm, right leg, because it's yoga, you have to hold it. Guess what? This is a lot like warrior. It's a lot like warrior 3 in a sense. And then back to center and release, pulling knees into chest. Did you like that one, Meredith?
No.
No, it's on top. So feet are flat onto the mat and we're coming up into bridge. And as you come up into bridge pose, clasp hands underneath you, tuck shoulders underneath you, lifting the pelvis up high. And of course, using your legs, using your glutes, using your back muscles. And release. And then once you release, let's come to happy baby. It's the perfect counter pose, holding your feet, knees are wide, good. You can rock a little or stay center. holding your right foot in half lotus as your left leg comes down, and you're lifting your head. And I would say definitely flex your right ankle so you don't destabilize your ankle. Good. You're bringing your head towards your foot. And then lower, and we'll take it to the other side, grabbing hold of your left foot, left knee pointing over to the left, holding your foot and flexing the ankle. Taking a deep breath in, and then lifting your head. And the head reaching towards your foot. Good, the stretch of the legs, good, good. And then for the next one, we'll want a block. It'll be the last one on our back. So you have a block handy, and the block is at your knees. So if possible, like what happens to me is my legs get lazy and they drop down. And I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to keep thighs on a vertical, 90 degree at the pelvis, 90 at the knees. Arms are at a T position. Hi, Sadie. And then you're going to take your knees over to the right, and your head is turning to the left. Your right leg is hovering above the floor. It touches, but it's hovering. You're not resting it. And then come across slowly the other way. So your knees are going over to the left. Your left thigh is touching the floor, but not resting. Good. And then go to the first side again. As your knees go right, your head turns left. Keep the shoulders down, hover. And then back. And one more time, you're going across now to the left. Good. Breathing in. Exhale, and then back to center. Good work, good work. So let's just come to soles of the feet are together, hands are onto the belly, and we're reminded of today's dedication to choosing now. I am choosing now. So your hands on your belly, just watching, observing your breath, and also taking part, ensuring that your inhalation is expansive. And when you exhale, you kind of deflate. Interlace fingers, press palms up and then up overhead, and give your body a full stretch here. One more deep breath in, and then exhaling. Good. And we'll come out. We're going to come all the way up to sitting. Okay. And from here, we'll bring our, if you need the knee padding, you have your knees on a blanket. And we have cat cow. So round and you arch. You're rounding, inhale, arching, going back and forth, back and forth. Simple, simple movement. And then we'll also do where you could stay with cat cow, or you come to child's pose, trying to get your hip to heel, trying to make contact, heel to your body. And then you round into your back and you arch, and you're coming to upward facing dog. And then you're going to come back. So it's like the action of a wave. Yep. And you're at your own pace here. I would say, you can work kind of slowly or not. And I kind of like working slowly because I can really try to move my back. And it's almost like a sequence of movement. A sequence of movement. And the last one coming up. And then coming on back. So we'll come right on to our elbows for our dolphin, and then it's plank on elbows. So here we go. So we're be on our elbows, and you could clasp your hands, you could have your palms flat. And I think clasping hands is probably a little easier. So you decide how to do this. You can, as you're here, doesn't matter where exactly the feet are, because we'll be moving them around a little bit. Go ahead and raise the heels and lower. Raise the heels and lower. And one more, raise the heels. See if you can come way up on the tips of your toes. Nice, and then heels down. And now start to walk your feet back. And now you're in plank on your elbows. If it's too hard for you, you have to bring your knees down. If you can, your knees are up, and breathe. Lowering onto the belly, extending your feet, separating the hands if they weren't already, palms are flat, and pushing tops of feet down. Try to move things out of the way. And here you are looking ahead of you. So it's not a collapse, you're lifting through the top of your head. Some of you can extend your arms, pop, pop. And then look past one shoulder and look past the other shoulder and look upward and then lower. Bringing your forehead down, stretching your back for a moment or resting your back. We're going to come back to child's pose, and then we'll be sitting on our heels. So for many, like myself included, I'm going to sit on a block. So I'm in child's pose, and then it'll be like virasana. So I have a block, and I'm going to place the block. And remember, you can always have 2 blocks, 3 blocks. And if the block doesn't work for you, if this doesn't work at all, sit cross-legged. You're okay. You know, don't put up with knee pain, is especially like not permissible. Okay. All right. And so it goes like this, because we're going to practice this, and we're going to do this on our bellies. So you reach your arms up, shoulders down, and then you go the Y. And then you do the L, and like you're really working your arms. And then you do the W, and your hands are not forward but back. You're really trying to squeeze back, and elbows as if they can meet behind your back. I've never seen that done before. Okay. And then the next part, you're fine where you're at, is you bring your hands behind your back and the small of your back. So that movement is actually really good for the shoulders, okay? So we're gonna practice that a few more times. Arms up overhead, Y, L, W, and hands behind your back, one hand over the other. We'll call them I, the letter I, 2 I's. Y, L, W, squeeze in, and hands placed behind the back. Last one, up. It's warming up shoulders really. Y, L, W, and hands on your back. Okay, good. Since you did it so well there, let's see how we do it on our belly. So we'll come right onto the belly again. And what you want to do is when we lift, and again, you might have to come onto the elbows so you can actually see. You're going to be on your elbows. You're looking, since you're online, looking at the screen. And so basically, you'll lift and lift. You lift, lift, and you go Y, L, W, and hands, and then lower. Okay, so let's try it. Arms forward, forehead is down to start with. Lift arms, legs, go like a Y, an L, a W. Don't you feel like a cheerleader? And then hands to the small of your back, and then lower your head. Now, I don't want you straining your neck. Don't lift don't even look forward if you can't get much of a lift. Don't strain your neck. 2 more. up, Y, L, W, hands on back, and lower. Last one, lift, Y, L, W, hands on your back, and lower. This time just rest on one side of your face, relax your back. I was focusing so much on my arms, I don't even remember if I lifted my legs on the last one. It's really interesting. So let's lift up, hands are on your thighs, the legs are down initially, and then lift. Excellent. Lower the legs, clasp your hands behind the back, squeeze shoulder blades together. Are you able to get your lowest ribs up off the mat? And then release. Use your hands, push up, and then stretch up your back. Lower your head. Another dolphin. There's a whole school. Do we say a school of dolphins? Is that, I don't know, a pod? A pod of dolphins here. We've got another one. A pod of whales. I'll bet someone here knows that. Okay, so yeah, let's just say it's a pod of dolphin. Okay, and then you're a herd of dolphin. Maybe that's it. Okay, so as you're here, you're lengthening. And then you're on your elbows, and we're going to take one leg up. So in dolphin, when your leg comes up, your hips stay squared. I want you to engage your core. Yeah, and point your toes, put your foot so your toes are pointing up to the sky. Good work. You got this. Relax your neck. Let's do the other side. Right leg comes up. Pelvis is squared. You're going to point your toes and reach for the sky with your toes. Breathing in. Exhale and lower. Good work. And knees are down. And once again, reach your hands back by the feet. Lower your head and breathe. And you have that little affirmation going on. I choose now. And we'll go to downward facing dog. Hands are spread wide. Curling toes under, reach back. And take a moment here. You could pedal, bend one knee, press opposite heel down, back and forth. One knee bending, that's it, Katya. And try to get your heel to touch down on the straight leg. Maybe you can. And now both heels raise, so you're on your tiptoes, and then heels are down. Heels raise and heels down. One more, heels raise and heels down. Good. So we finally have that steer. Okay, so what I do is from the hands and knees, I just can bring one knee over the other. And you know, if this is really hard for you, let's see, where is that? You could always sit on a block or two or three. And who's got three, right? And I know, where's Vester? He's a great role model because he would have he'd have the blocks and a bolster, or the bolster and blocks. Yeah. So, and if it doesn't work for your hip joints, don't worry about it. Sit cross-legged, it's fine. Okay, where's the strap when you need it, right, Katya? It's like a mile away. Okay, she might, you might not. I don't know. So, okay, there's the right leg on top, therefore opposite arm. Whichever leg is on top, opposite arm will come up. And just as we did on our backs, you're going to bend and you have a helper hand taking your arm. Now, some are like coming over and they touch, no problem. You get an itch on your back, you can scratch it, no problem. But then some are like, oh, I need the strap, so you can have your strap. Yeah. And then Katya, can you join the hands? Can the hand come from behind? Yeah, there you go. I thought so. I had a feeling. So what happens? I'm doing that too. I'm looking down as I'm connecting. Well, once you connect, look forward. And if you have your hands connecting, no doubt the hands are against your back. But if you have a strap, maybe you can take the strap away from your back, like maybe there is a 1/2 inch or 1 inch between your strap and the back. That's a good one.
Stretch.
It's a stretch. This used to be so easy for me.
Yeah, me too.
The arm part, not the hip part never was, but the arm part was a joy. Now it's like, oh, well, so something I need to do constantly, like every day. All right, so the arm, now you're gonna go over, we're gonna do both sides, so it doesn't matter which way you start. So I just took the arm that was up and side bend. And side bend the other way.
So are the legs in steer or is it just such a cross?
The legs are in steer. That's my steer. I know, the legs are in steer. Yeah. Yeah, they're still in steer, but if you have to cross them, that's fine. I like what you're doing, Ann. That's good. That's a good variation. It's as good as.
I do what I can.
That's right. That's right. All right. Woo! And then guess what we do? So remember which leg's on top. For me, it's my right. Okay. I think for many of you, it's your right. So go wide, and and come forward. So I don't know. Now you're like, oh, maybe you're happy to be out of steer, but then I don't know. I have no idea. I like this one. And lengthen your spine and breathe. Good. It's good to, especially in the studio, we've got a mirror. You can look and see if your back's all rounded. Can you extend your back? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, let's do the other side. So again, I'm gonna start from hands and knees the way because I used to really struggle with this, and this is how I learned. Bob Smith taught me this. So I take my left knee in front of the other. He's like, Fran, you're really struggling with that. Why don't you come on to hands and knees? I was like, thank you, Bob. Okay, so, and then come forward, and either you're sitting on your block or just sitting between the feet. Katya is just like, it's easy for her, right? This is easy one thing, the leg part. Okay, either, and it's unusual that like sometimes we'll say the leg part's easy if the shoulders are hard or both are hard, you know, it's like combination. So you've got your other arm. If that's your left leg, your right arm is up in the air, and it's good for the brain because you're working with opposites. And notice how we look down, see if you can look ahead of you. And do you need a strap or can you reach? Can you reach? If you're using a strap, the hand, the upper hand feeds the strap to the lower hand. And see if you can be a little more upright with your spine. Those of you who have a strap, can you create a little space between your strap and your back? And we'll do one more round of breath here. Exhale. And release. And then, oh, the arm that was up is going to come over, side bend. And then we'll come across the other way, up and over, side bend. Good work, and we release. Good. Stretch out the legs, go out wide. That's the counter pose. Going out wide and coming forward, pushing out through the heels. Good work. We really do have sun salutations coming up. Good. Okay, we come up, and then we'll come up to standing. Come all the way up to standing. For this first round of sun salutations, you may want 2 blocks because there will be, there's a lunge. Okay. All right, hopefully you feel pretty good coming up to standing. And I can't, I'm being decapitated. Not good. Okay. Well, I don't know why. Okay. Yep, maybe.
I mean, it's just.
The screen. Yep. Okay, I'll get it. I think we got it. Woo! Only took about 10 tries. Okay, so you're at the front end of your mat and hands are to the heart. We'll reach up and lengthen. So traditionally, sun salutations are done in the morning because you're greeting the sun. You're greeting the sun. You're greeting light. You're greeting warmth. And then soften your knees. You might need the blocks or not. I use the blocks on the lunge part. And wherever you're at, come into your forward fold and breathe. Lower your head. Oh, it's a wonderful stretch to the back of your body. And then look ahead of you. Look ahead of you. And fold in again. So hands, now my hands are on the blocks, and I'm going to take my right foot back. And of course, you don't need a block. I'm just I'm stretching my right hip flexor. At some point, I'm going to come to standing. So just make sure that your left heel is down and your foot is forward so that you've got knee, ankle in alignment. You got it. And it's a nice hip flexor stretch. And then the back heel will come down at an angle, what we say a sharp angle, and then reach the arms up. And look up. You're like framing out a space. You're looking up at the space and breathe. And then from here, lowering, I'm going to move the blocks out of the way for downward facing dog. Press on back. So you'll see this twice, and then we're going to do another round of a different variation. I don't know. I think this is a nice way to begin the new year. It's kind of like I feel like the new year is a portal. There's a door. It's open. We crossed the threshold on the 1st. And now we're standing and we're like greeting the sun, greeting light. Come forward to plank. Pause, be strong. And then we'll come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can have your knees down or your knees are up. We're going to come right onto the belly. From here, you could be on your elbows or pressing up into cobra. So elbows are tucked into your sides. You press and lengthen. Thighs are grounded. Yeah, as best as you can. That's good. Breathing in. Exhale. If you, so I know in the studio you could see yourself in the mirror. Do your shoulders look squared? And online, you have that sense of your shoulders being squared, and then you lower. And once you lower, we're going to press back. We'll add child's pose. Stretch out your spine. And then all the way back, downward facing dog. And once again, you can pedal or you can raise both heels. See what works best for you. Your right leg is going to swing up into the air. Swing up high, look at your hands, and swing the foot forward. It doesn't come all the way forward, you inch it forward. And then here's the blocks again, because I'm going to stretch the hip flexor. Yeah. It feels great. It's like, oh. Do you ever think like, what would your body be like? What would your mind be like if you didn't do yoga? I mean, I every day, I feel this intensely, these stretches, and I always feel I'm in need. And afterwards, I always feel that, clarity of mind. Okay, we're going to, reach the arms up. Skipping ahead and reach, extend. Back heel down. Got yeah. There you go. And then from here, coming forward, we'll step forward. Only use the blocks if you need them, of course. And here you are, your feet are together and you're lowering your head. And notice your hamstring stretching. Ooh, how could you not notice? Notice your spine stretching. And then look ahead of you. Look ahead. And then fold in and soften the knees, sweep the arms out to the sides, all the way up. Palms touch, arch back. And hands to heart center. Another round. So this time I may or may not use my blocks. I'm kind of thinking I won't. It's the same sequence. Hands are to heart. Inhale, reach up and arch back and come forward. Reaching for your ankles. Wherever you're able to reach. And then we'll take the left foot back. I'm just going to see my chat. There's a little something. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. And then we'll start to bring the arms up. So the mystery solved about what happened on Thursday. Annette was doing the right thing because I told her how to get on and she'd done it before. No one could get on. So someone else was using the Zoom app.
Oh,
Someone else, and only one person, one class could happen at the same time. And someone, I don't know who that someone was, logged on to his or her class. So that's why no one could enter, because wow, that's really not good. So maybe one of the faults of Zoom, that only one class at a time.
Well, they only one account.
Yeah.
They can have two accounts.
Yeah, you're right. You can have two accounts. All right, release and press back. Downward facing. Good. Nice. So you're starting to open up here. Come forward to plank. And have your feet together. Your hands are spread wide. Hands are wide on the mat. Elbows bend straight back. Lower onto your belly. Extend the feet and press up into cobra. And stretch your back. Lowering. And back to child's pose. Stretch out your spine. It's a wonderful counter pose. And downward facing dog. So you see this whole sequence is about forward bending and back bending. Left leg will come up into the air and left foot will come forward. You could stretch in your low lunge for a moment, and eventually the heel is down and the arms come up. And breathe. And then we'll step forward, forward fold, lowering your head. Soften the knees as you make your way up to standing. Hands are up overhead, reaching up and back. And hands to heart center. Yeah, now we're warmed up. So guess what? There's another round, and it's not as lengthy, but it's a different it's a set, right? And it's a different way of working these, but we'll do those as well in our sun salutation. So I'll say this. Hands to heart. Reach up, arch back. Exhale down. Right foot back, and guess what? Right knee is down, but your hands are not going to leave the mat. So your back toes curled under, your hands are down, and your knee might come beyond the line of the ankle. Some like to use blocks on this. Maybe that is helpful. Or your hands are down, and it's all, this is it. And you're trying to lift upward and look upward without straining your neck. So, and I feel in this one, like some might need a blanket, but I don't need a blanket because my hands are still supporting me. It's a little like crescent moon, but your hands are down. One more breath here. Look up. Exhale, plank, not downward facing dog, plank. Now, from plank, you're going to bring your knees down and your chin down. Your pelvis stays up in the air. Elbows are really close into your ribs. And then your tunnel collapses and you press up. And downward facing dog, curling toes under. You walk or you spring forward. I'll walk. Yeah, your feet are together. And you have chair, Utkatasana. You drop down. And you bring your arms up. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Give me your best chair here. Good, good. Push heels into the mat. Arch back. And hands to heart center. One more round like that, and it's interesting because it's like they're not Hatha yoga. Don't do anything fast, but it's a lot. You're moving. Okay, so next one. You know the movement. The only difference is left foot steps back. Can it be smooth? Have your blocks handy if you need them. Inhale, reach up. Arch back. Come forward. Soften your knees. Bring your head to or towards your knees. Look ahead of you. Fold in. Left foot steps back. Left toes stay curled under and the knee touches down. And if you study with like 12 different yoga teachers, you'll see 12 different sun salutations, variations. My goal is to write them all down because I've seen some really wonderful variations and to do a workshop. Okay, so here we go. Your left hip flexor stretching. Look up, breathe. And then plank. Feet are together. And then knees come down and your chin comes down. Your pelvis stays up in the air. You're using your triceps to hold. And then the tunnel collapses, belly down, and your head comes up. Good. Downward facing dog. Notice how much more flexible. Ooh, okay, we're going to walk to the front of the mat. Feet are together. You're going to start to bend your knees. You have an Utkatasana chair and breathe. And then press heels into the mat, reach back, arch, and hands to heart center. Chin down, releasing your neck. Hallelujah, you did it. Happy New Year.
When you do that work with the chin down and the hips up, do you actually put any weight on it?
I do put weight on the chin. Yeah,
It wasn't clear to me whether you're supposed to be
Yeah.
holding it or you can wait.
I do put weight on the chin. I'm going to show that with my mask and all. And I've got like that little, cage in there, that plastic. So it's like pressing. But yes, it's a really cool because you are, it's sort of like, imagine you count 1, 2, 3, and then you drop down. So you're here, here. Your arms are still working for you. Arms are still doing a lot of work. And then up. Okay. Yeah. So you drop, then you come down. So yeah. All right. So let's we're gonna do movements here. Let's see. Oh, it's almost time. Wow. Okay, that goes fast. All right. From my perspective. All righty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to readjust my mat a little bit because people in studio, you're going to be facing that way. Okay. And then you can kind of, it's a little easier to follow, I think, like this. And I'm going to do something here so I can actually see if I'm fitting on the screen. Okay. All right. So you're going to start out on one end of your mat. Say your mat is wide. And you're going to start out on the left end of your mat, okay? It's a little bit a different movement. Oh, by the way, especially if you're a little tight on your hips, have a block on either end, okay? And then you'll be really happy you have it, and you may not need it, okay? So, I'm gonna take hands to heart, and I'm gonna take my right leg up and walk it over to the side. My right foot turns out a little bit. You can't see it because the block's there. I'm going to turn it out a little bit. And then bend the right knee and drop down. So some of you are going to be really happy to have a block. Others are like, this is cool. And some can even drop down onto the elbows. So see, where are you at in this? Yeah, good, good. I bet you can, Tatiana, even dropping down. Maybe, here you go. How about on a block? Elbow on a block.
Is this leg a right angle? So if your knee goes forward, you should not go all the way down.
Exactly.
Here, my knee is forward.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay because you're still. Doesn't matter like if your knee comes beyond line of the ankle too much because you're still bearing weight on your hands. You're not bearing all your body weight on your knee. Okay, press up. Straighten your right foot. Come back to center. The right leg comes up into tree. You might need a wall for this. Coming up into tree. Never taught from this angle before, so there you go. And then release. We're going to go wide again. Heels are turned in, toes turned out. Exhale, horse. So strong horse. Breath in. Exhale. One more breath in. Exhale. And then from here, step forward again, over to the left, and we're going to shift sides. So it's just a way of, there's a hip opener, there's a strength, there's a balance. So we'll do the other side. Your left knee comes up, and you're going to reach. As soon as you reach, turn your left foot out. Doesn't have to be like a full-on turn out, just a little bit. And then you bend your knee. Wherever your knee bends according to the position of your foot. And then maybe you need a block or your elbows pressed down on the block, or who knows, maybe you can drop down. A nice deep lunge. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I can go there, but I think I want to block today. Breathing in. Exhale. Choosing this moment. All right, come on up. And the left foot turns so their feet are squared, and then walk forward. So I have to bend my knees to get the push, okay? And then from here, the left foot is coming up. You can't see. The left foot is coming up in tree. Hands are to heart. Arms are reaching up. Come back on the mat. And then from here, you're going to drop your leg down and walk it out again. Heels turned in, toes turned out. You have horse. So interlace fingers, take a breath in, exhale through the mouth, and here you are in horse. And see if you can be upright on your horse. Breathing in. A little more upright. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's not easy. Yeah, breathing in. Exhale. And then push. And straighten your legs. And remember to push back to the set. You have to bend your knees and push off of that leg. Good. We did it. Yeah, let's come to sitting. Let's go ahead and come to sitting. I bet Bill liked that New Year's class. It's a lot of energy. So we have a moment here where I would just like to, it's a Ujjayi breath, Ujjayi. I don't know how to work with the mask. In Ujjayi breath, you constrict your throat. It's still nasal breathing. It's not mouth breathing. Your mouth is closed. It's nasal breathing. But some people say the ocean breath. Some say the shell breath to your ear, like a shell breath, Darth Vader breath. So it is, I'll come closer in the screen thing here. You basically, almost like you're irritated with someone, they ask you to take the garbage out 10 times and you're like, okay, that sort of, so it's that kind of breath. I just want you to do like 2 rounds here. Okay, breathe in. If it doesn't make sense, you're just doing deep rounds of breathing. Breathe in. Exhale. Keep doing it. I would talk about Jai means to conquer. You conquer the busy mind. That's how you choose mind. Now you conquer the busy mind. You're victorious over the busy mind. It's really slows down your breathing, prepares you for Shavasana. You got it. You got it. Let's go ahead and lie down. And you don't have to do that breath when you're in Shavasana, because in Shavasana, you're going to be the observer of your breathing. Settling onto your mat. Completely release your body. Let go of any tension within. If there's any left, you'll see it, you'll locate it, you'll let go completely. And I will repeat the beautiful words that you heard earlier on, words to live by, based on Buddha's teaching. The theme today, the dedication, is choosing now. I choose now. I will not give the power of this moment away to the past or to the future. I choose now. I do not need more time or less time or another time. I choose now. I do not need to be more or to be less. I choose the person I am. I choose now. Let's go ahead and start to deepen the breathing. And moving your hands, moving your feet. When you are ready, you'll roll to your side and you'll make your way to sitting. And we'll end our session with an Om. So taking a deep breath in for Om, inhale.